Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. I just can't hide it. Wimbledon 2022 ATP draw preview and predictions. We're going to go through it in our classic traditional fashion. Of course, I'm going to go through the bracket. For anyone that wants to play, by the way, it's TNNS Live. It's an app. You can check it out. I'm not actually sponsored by them or anything, but it's a cool app, and I'm going to make my picks on there. So as you can see, it's on screen. We're going to go through each match. I'm going to give you my reasoning for most of them. Of course, we'll be able to see some of the popcorn first round matches. I'm going to then, of course, do my projected, like a second round, third round, quarterfinals, etc. To go through that, who's got the easiest runs, who's got the hardest runs. Of course, we've got Djokovic, we've got Nadal, we've got Swiatek, we've got Jabeur, we've got Berrettini, all these ridiculously good players. So let's see. I have absolutely zero idea of how it's going to go. And it's just one of those things that I look at it and just think, you know what? On the men's side, you kind of think, oh, you know who's going to win. On the women's side, I'm not really too sure. It's Swiatek against the field, and I kind of take the field. But, of course, we're going to talk about the men's in this video, so let's get into it. Before we do as well, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new as well. And I didn't mention it before, but of course I will be giving my eventual winner at the end of this because I'll be picking and we'll be going through the bracket as well. If you're a podcast listener or watcher as well, remember to leave a rating, review, all that good stuff. Let's do it. So Djokovic versus Son Wukong should be a pretty straightforward first round for Djokovic. Not really going to talk about this too much. Let's be honest, he should get through that pretty easily. Thanasi Kokkinakis, who always tends to have like a really good lead up to Grand Slams, and then when it comes to the actual Grand Slam, he either kind of gets injured or he kind of gets dumped out in the first round or second round, and it's like a really disappointing run after some really, really, I think, encouraging results beforehand. So it happened in Australia, happened at the French Open. Is it going to happen here at Wimbledon? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping he'll get through this. Against Kamil Matrak, should get through it. Zher versus Tabilo, we're going to go Zher. Kekmanovic Millman, that's a good one. I think Millman's not a bad player, but Kekmanovic has been in some really good form. And then look at that, an old favourite, Lucas Rosol, of course, causing upsets in the past at Wimbledon. A lot older now, though. But should have too much for him. But definitely keep on out for the qualifiers. They can be so dangerous just because they've already played 3 matches on the grass. It makes a big, big difference, especially for guys coming in who've either had limited experience this year on the grass or it's just not really their surface, let's say. Benoit Paire versus Quinton Hallis. Benoit Paire, probably one of the worst forehands on tour, but the backhand's damn good. He hits it very flat. I mean, just likes to volley. I'm going to go Benoit Paire against his compatriot Quinton Hallis, but I have no idea. Tim van Rijthoven versus Federico Del Bonis. I'm going to Van Rijthoven. Of course, won in Hertogenbosch, beating Medvedev, Felix, Auger-Aliassime, a couple of other big names. I mean, ridiculous run. So I think we've got to pick him. He's been in great form. Del Bonis is a tricky customer in general, but really he's a clay courter, so he shouldn't have too much in his locker against Van Rijthoven. Apelka to Berner, Apelka on the surface. Sinner Wawrinka, for me, is actually a 50-50 because, yes, I know Jannick is number 10 in the world. He should have a bit too much, but there's a few things. The first thing is I don't think he's played any matches on the grass, if I'm not mistaken, in the grass court swing. 2, I don't know how he moves on the grass and how comfortable he is on it. I feel like he's most comfortable on the clay or slow hard courts. This is the complete extreme opposite. In saying that, Wawrinka is similar. Of course, the only Grand Slam he hasn't won is Wimbledon. So, I don't know. It didn't look particularly good against Nadal in the exhibition either. Of course, he's definitely a shadow of himself from, I guess, the Stan Wawrinka that was winning slams. I'm going to go Sinner. I think he should have too much. Altmaier, Eimer. I'm going to Mika Aime. He had quite a decent run last year, actually. I'm pretty sure it was him, not his brother. And he ran, I think it was Felix, very close as a 5-setter. Chances to win that as well. Murray Duckworth. I'm going to go Murray. Let's hope he can get through in straight sets if you're a Murray fan, because the issue for him will be if he wants to go deep, like he's saying, the only way to do that is by giving yourself, I guess, easy matches early on, which means getting it done in straight sets, not being taken to 4 or 5 sets regularly like he has been doing. Bless me, in previous tournaments. And I think the draw hasn't been particularly favourable to him as well, I have to say. Like, that is definitely something to look into, but let's just hope he gets it done against Duckworth. It should really be straight sets, you would hope. Isner versus Quad, a qualifier. I'm going to go Isner. Yeah, so Oscar Otter in an all-German affair against Gochewijk. I think Otter's been in some really good form. So for me, it'll be really surprising to see him go out early. And he's definitely improved a lot. He's not young whatsoever, but he's loving the grass. He's a massive server. Let's see how he gets on. Jay Clark versus Christian Harrison, a qualifier. Jay Clark's been given a wild card. I'm going to go with Harrison. Harsh to say, but I just feel like a qualifier's not an easy first round. They've been playing on this surface. They've got confidence. Nah, I just can't see it. Grigspor Fognini. I saw Grigspor play at Wimbledon last year. He's a very different player. He's improved a lot since then. Lost to Zverev in straight sets. Had a little bit about him then, but just not much. Fognini should be too strong, but in saying that, I'm telling you now, that's a really tough first round match. I wouldn't be surprised to see Grigspor cause the upset. I just think maybe Fognini hits a bit too hard from the back of the court, but I'm not sure. He hits very flat. He can hit very flat. At Wimbledon, he does get a lot of purchase on his flatter ground strokes. You would imagine he should have the upper hand. Just not sure. I'm going to go for him, though. And Jan Struff saw him against Medvedev last year. Took a set off the current number one now. Of course, unfortunately, not able to play. Of course, no Russians, no Belarusians. Yeah, less said about that, the better, but not ideal. He'll play Carlos Alcaraz. That's a really tough first-round match for Carlos Alcaraz, I have to say. Really tough. He should get through it. But I tell you what, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. Rude Ramos Vinolas. Rude. I think if he was on the clay, he'd still win. I mean, he's a clay quarter as well, but might be a bit... I don't know, actually. Ramos Vinolas. Rude should just have too much in terms of quality, you'd imagine. Umber versus Edgeferry. Oh my god, I didn't even know. Surely Ugo Umber is like the worst person to kind of count on, I think, in tennis at the moment, because you just have no idea if he's going to win or not. Grass is his preferred surface, but he's looked horrific the whole year. Not sure what's going on with him, if there's anything personal going on, but either way, it's tough to back for him. I'm going to go for it against Edgeferry, but I'll tell you what, I have zero confidence. David Goffin versus Albert Goffin. He's been in decent form this year. I know he's dropped down the rankings recently, but the whole year as a whole has been pretty good. I'm going to go Goffin. Taro Daniel versus Sebastian Baez. That would be a great match. Taro Daniel, of course, beat... It was Taro Daniel, right? That beat Murray last year. No, that's Shapovalov. Taro Daniel did beat Murray, though. It was in one of the slams. Australian Open this year. Pretty sure. I think it might have been. Sebastian Baez nearly knocked out Zverev in Roland Garros, and he played some really good tennis. Now, he's a clay quarter, though. Taro Daniel, this is a 50-50. I'm going to go Sebastian Baez, but don't count on it. Francis Tiafoe versus Vavasori. Tiafoe. Badin versus Matera. I'm going to go Badin. Solid. Bublik versus Fucsovics. Oh, wow. Both those guys must be thinking, what the heck? How have I drawn this person? Bublik likes the grass. He does. Fucsovic also likes the grass. Had a pretty good run last year. That's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one to call. Going to go Fucsovic. Am I? Yeah, go on. PCB versus Lajovic. If this was any other surface but grass, I would be like PCB, like straight away. No, nothing in my mind would say it's not PCB. But at the moment, I feel like it's a tough one. I really do. I'm going to go Lajovic for the upset. Norrie Andahar should be Norrie. I mean, he should get it done pretty comfortably, you would assume. Tough to say, though. Because Pablo Andahar is not a grass court player, yes, but I don't know. I just feel like he can be a bit dangerous at times. And Cam Norrie hasn't been in the greatest of form recently. Lost to Maxime Cressy, which I mean, Cressy's a good grass courter, no doubt, right? He's really good, but he's not. It shouldn't be on Norrie's level. He shouldn't be. You would assume. Cam Norrie's a top 10 player. Well, he was a top 10 player. Montero Manar. I'm going to go Manar. That's going to be a great match, though. Manar's always in great matches. Ryan Peniston, wildcard versus Laxonen. That's not an easy first round, but he could have had a lot harder ones. I'm going to go Peniston. He's been in good form. Back-to-back ATP quarterfinals. Lefty as well. I think he might have a bit of success. Maybe he might make it through the first couple of rounds. Depends on who he gets. We'll see, I guess, as we get through it. Dimitrov, Johnson, Dimitrov. Tommy Paul versus Verdasco. This was 5-6 years ago. Verdasco was just like unbelievably good. But, well, I say unbelievably good for a top 20 player. Like, really good. But nowadays, Tommy Paul. He's been in good form as well. Max Purcell, Manarino. Correa, Vesely. Ooh, that's interesting. Vesely. Or as Cam Williams likes to call him, Big V. Alejandro Daudich Fokina versus Hurkacz. That's my pick. Is that my pick? No. There's one coming up. That's my pick. This is close, though. Hubert Hurkacz to win because he's been in great form. But can I just say, I would not be surprised if he loses. I wouldn't be. Daudich Fokina is a former boys champion at Wimbledon. I get it. Like, okay, it's completely different. It's only certain age groups. Fine, I get it. But he does have a game that can translate onto grass. He's got an all-court game. People think he's a clay courter. Yes, probably the most suited surface for his game and most comfortable one he's on. He can play on all surfaces. He can. It's just about applying himself. Now, he had a bit of a wrist injury, I think, in, I want to say Mallorca last week or this week. Hopefully, he's recovered from it okay. And if he has, it should be an interesting match, but Hurkacz should get through it. Berrettini, Garin. Don't even need to talk about that. Garin's a clay courter. Berrettini will literally blow him away. Huesler versus Grenier. Lucky loser. Nice. Huesler. Collard versus Bonzi. Bonzi's been in some good form. I like Benjamin. I tell you what, Bonzi's not a bad player. I did commentary for him against Dominic Thiem recently in a clay court event in Estoril. He won, and he has got a pretty good game, I have to say. I like his game. Entertainment personified for me. Kukushkin versus Brooksby. Brooksby should get through that. It's not an easy first round, but he should get through it. Now, he has had a very mixed year. My thought is that he should find some form on the grass. He does have the game for it. He's got very flat ground strokes. Andy Murray-esque, except without the big first serve. That needs to be worked on. But other than that, there is similarities. He should get through that. Alex de Minaur versus Hugo Dellien, who has caused some upsets this year. He has caused some upsets for sure. But Alex de Minaur. Jack Draper against Bergs. He's playing a semi-final today. Jack Draper for me. He's in good form. Lefty, big server. Should have some success. I would imagine we'll see how far he goes. But I don't think he's making the second week, but he could go deep into the first. Brody versus Liam Brody, that is. Koric versus Schwartzman. Schwartzman should have too much. Shapovalov, Ridonek. Now, this is an interesting one because Shapovalov's lost his last 6 matches. That means he's lost his last 6 first round matches. And that's across grass and clay. I'm going to say he's going to break the duck against Ridonek. I don't hold much hope for him, though, I have to say. Nakashima versus Kun. Nakashima. Kepfer, Galan Kepfer. RBA versus Balaz. RBA is in good form. Loves the grass as well. One of the only Spaniards I think I've ever heard of who prefers grass to clay. Crazy, right? Krajinovic, Lehecka. Krajinovic, of course, made the final of Queens, lost to Berrettini. He's in good form. Should be able to get through that. I know he hadn't won a single grass court match before that in his whole career. Crazy. But he's found a bit of form, confidence. Should definitely be telling. Kyrgios Jub. Kyrgios for me against Paul Jub, the wild card from Britain or from the UK even, where I am, of course. Kyrgios has been in good form, though, and I see him making a little run here. Caraballas Bayana versus Jordan Thompson. Jordan Thompson, I'm going to go for. Richard Tsitsipas against qualifier. That's an easy first round. He should get through it. Qualifiers aren't easy, though, I have to say. Fine, let me take that back. But it could have got a lot harder first round. And Felix Auger-Aliassime couldn't have got a harder first round, I reckon. Maxime Cressy. That is my pick for the first round matches. FAA versus Cressy. What a match. I cannot wait to watch that. Maxime Cressy is going to be rushing the net. FAA is going to be like, what the heck is going on? And I'm just going to be loving it all. It's tough. I can see Cressy winning, you know that. I really can. But Felix should have enough. But part of me also thinks, has this kind of Tony Nadal influence coming in, this run at Roland Garros, has this almost kind of hampered his chances at Wimbledon a little bit? Because before it, he never won a match at Roland Garros. The last couple of years when he's played at Wimbledon, he's got into it fully focused on it, right? He hasn't had to have a smaller break in between. He's had a longer break to really focus on it. Now, of course, he's had to transition, completely try and change the way he's hitting his forehand at times as well, of course, because before on the ground strokes, a lot more heavier topspin, more coverage over the net. Yes, you can play like that on grass, but you also need to be able to flatten it out, and that's kind of what naturally was his game, but he's adjusted it somewhat. The good and positive sign is that he was serving and volleying generally quite a lot at Roland Garros, so that will put him in good stead for Wimbledon. First serve was firing nicely in the exhibition, though, against Djokovic. The first serve was horrific. Hasn't he barely made any? A lot of double faults as well. Hopefully he got that out of his system. He's playing Nadal in exhibition today. I'm going to go with FA, but again, do not be surprised if he loses. Do not be surprised. Sebastian Morales versus Sock. I'm going to go Sock. Both qualifiers as well. Novak versus Bagnis. I'm going to go the qualifier, Novak. Kubler, Evans, going to go Evans. Rune versus Jaron. That's a hard first round for Rune because Jaron's been in good form. That could be an upset. But I'm going to go Rune. And it's crazy to say that it could be an upset because before, if Rune played pretty much anyone and won, it would be an upset because he was so young and ranked so low. But now, it's the other way around. He's now seeded at 24. Martinez, Molcan, I'm going to go Molcan. Alistair Gray, wildcard versus Seng. I'm going to go Seng. Musetti, Fritz. It's a grass court, though, I have to remember. Musetti on grass is a different proposition to Musetti on clay, that's for sure. Fritz should have too much, I would say. Too solid, I reckon. I don't think Musetti likes the grass. He doesn't. Cilic, McDonald, Cilic. That's a hard first round, though. McDonald's a good player. Cilic had a good run at Queens, made the semi-finals. Lost to Krajinovic in not particularly good style, I would say. So, interesting to see. Gasquet, Souza, Gasquet. I mean, he definitely has got very good results at Wimbledon. Rusevori, Nishioka. I'm going to go Rusevori. Lopez, Van der Zandt-Schlupp. Going to go Van der Zandt-Schlupp. Maybe the semis or Queens. Feliciano Lopez, though, is a very good grass court. So that's a hard first round, I have to say. Sonego Kudla. Going to go Sonego. Gaston, Poprin. Query, Barankis, Query. Cerundolo, Nadal, going to go Nadal. That's not an easy first round, though. Young, hungry Argentinian. The only positive is that he's not particularly good on grass. So far anyway. So he should have too much Nadal in the experience tank, you'd imagine. Well, I'm going to get through these a bit quicker because we're really dragging this out. Well, I'm dragging this out. Djokovic, Kokkinakis. Now, this isn't a hard match for Djokovic. He should win. Unfortunately for Kokkinakis, he's just in that section. But Djokovic, for me. Kekmanovic, yeah, going to go Kekmanovic. Basilashvili, Benoit pair. Wow. Wow. A very interesting clash of styles. Basilashvili I'm going to go for. Ritovin versus Opelka. I'm going to go... Can Ritovin handle the Opelka serve? Or if you can handle the Medvedev serve, you can imagine he probably can. Let's go Van Ritovin. Sinner Eimer. Not an easy match for Sinner. I'm going to go Sinner, but with not much confidence. Wow, Andy Murray, that's not an easy second round against John Isner. Not at all. I mean, Isner could win that in 3 tiebreakers or get 1 breaker serve. If Murray's playing how he did against, Tsitsipas, Kyrgios at Stuttgart, he should win. So I'm going to go Murray. Otter Harrison, I'm going to go Otter. Alcaraz Fognini, that's a really, really tough second round. Fognini is a very tough competitor on the grass. Alcaraz should have too much. Ruud, I'm going to go Umber. I think Ruud's not going to last very long. Just have a feeling. And maybe if Umber wins that could give him the confidence he needs as well. Goffin, Bailly's Goffin. I think he will be good on the grass. Big hitter from the back of the court. And I think Bailly's might not be comfortable enough on the grass as of yet. He's still quite young. TFO, Badin, TFO. Fucsovic, Lejovic, Fucsovic. Norrie, Manan, Norrie. Peniston, Dimitrov. Really good matchup. But Dimitrov, too much experience on the grass. The backhand slice is really good on grass as well. I think he should have too much. Tommy Paul, Manarino, Tommy Paul. Vesely, Hurkacz. He's too hot right now to back against. Berrettini against Hustler, Berrettini. Bonzi, Brooksby. I'm going for the upset. Well, technically upset because Brooksby seeded and go for Benjamin Bonzi. Alex de Minaur versus Jack Draper. That's a 50-50. Jack Draper's, they're 2 very different styles. Big server, volleyer, big forehand. De Minaur kind of speed demon around the court. Very good kind of stamina, agility, defensive play. Hits the ball nice and deep, not with a huge amount of power, but likes to slice and dice as well. Not an easy match for Draper. Not an easy match for Alex de Minaur. Tough one, Very tough one. It's tough. I don't know. I'm going to go Jack Draper. It might be the British person in me, but I don't know. We'll see. Liam Brody versus Schwartzman, another lefty from Britain, but I think Schwartzman will have too much, will he? Yeah. Shapovalov, Nakashima. I don't know why I'm picking Shapovalov, but Shapovalov. RBA, Kepfer, RBA. Krajinovic versus Kyrgios. Kyrgios should win that. Although Krajinovic has been playing really well, as I said. He plays like how he played at Queen's. It's not an easy match, but Kyrgios should win it. Tsitsipas, Thompson, Tsitsipas. Felix versus Sock. Oh, he's got a terrible draw, Felix. Oh, he could easily lose both these matches. I'm going to go Felix. But again, with not much confidence. Evans should beat Novak. Rune Molcan. That is a tough one for Rune. I'm going to go Molcan. Fritz saying Fritz. Cilic Gasquet. Wow. What? We're getting Cilic Gasquet second round. What do I pick for that? I'm going to go Cilic because of form, but it's not an easy one, Gasquet's got history at Wimbledon. He's a good player. Rusevori, Van der Zandschulp. I'm going to go Van der Zandschulp. Sonego, Poprin. I'm going to go Poprin. Query, Nadal. Nadal should come through that. Again, I get Query's a big serving American, blah, blah, blah. He is a shadow of the player he once was. He shouldn't cause Nadal problems. He shouldn't. In my opinion. Djokovic, Kecmanovic. Djokovic's run is not particularly hard from what I can see so far. I know Kokkinakis, people might say he's a talented Australian, but on grass, just a 0 chance. Kecmanovic as well, same. Djokovic to win that. Basilashvili, Van Ritovin, going to go Basilashvili. Sinner Murray, going to go Murray. Too experienced on the grass for Sinner. Otter versus Alcaraz. That Alcaraz, every match is just tough. What the hell? I'm going to go Alcaraz, but with not much I don't know, actually. I don't know. Do I even go for Alcaraz to go deep? I don't know. It's so tough to know because he's played zero tennis on the grass. He was supposed to play Queens. I was so excited because I went to Queens on the Saturday to see the semi-finals. He wasn't there. I was like, come on, man. What? I can't believe it because he obviously pulled out. And now I'm just thinking, does he have enough on the grass? He's got the game for it. It's how he's going to move. I'm going to go Alcaraz. Berg Goffin. Tough as well. Goffin, current form's got to count for something. TFO Fucsovic, TFO Norrie Dimitrov. That's a great match. Wow. Dimitrov for me, actually. Dimitrov, too good. That's the only issue he might have is that Norrie's going to go cross court to his backhand a lot as a lefty, but he'll slice a lot, and that will be awkward for Norrie, I'd imagine, even low at the forehand side. And then he'll punish Norrie's backhand with his forehand. Dimitrov, you would imagine. Tommy Paul, Hurkacz. Hurkacz, that's a tough one, though. Hurkacz has not got an easy run either. He's got a tough run, man. What is going on? Berrettini, Bonzi, Berrettini. Draper, Schwartzman. I'm going to go Jack Draper to cause the upset. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? No, let's do it. Chapeau, RBA, RBA. I'm not counting on Chapeau against any seed. Kyrgios Tsitsipas. Oh my gosh, if we get that in the second round. Oh my gosh. That's my pick, that would be. Kyrgios should win, you know. He beat him in the Boss Open. Was it Boss Open? No, it's Halle. Halle he beat him, no? Yeah. He beat him in Halle. He lost the first set. Tsitsipas served really well. Kyrgios figured him out, though. Oh, Kyrgios. I can't see Tsitsipas lasting very long, clearly. Felix versus Dan Evans, not an easy. Felix has just got tough matches, man. Tough. Felix. Molcan Fritz. So these are third round matches. Sorry, that would be third round, yeah. Molcan Fritz going to go Fritz. Cilic, Van der Zandschulp, Cilic. Poprin, Nadal. Right, here we go. The round of 16 we are now. Djokovic, Basilashvili. Djokovic. Marin, Alcaraz. Oh, man. Murray could win that, you know. He could. He really could. I just don't know. So much hinges on which Andy Murray turns up. He's like struggling with an abdominal injury. Which Alcaraz turns up. Absolutely zero practice on the grass. It's impossible. How do you know? I don't know. I'm really guessing this blind. I'm going to go Murray because of experience, but I mean, that's a flip of a coin at the moment. Goffin, TFO, Dimitrov, Hurkacz. That's a tough one, you know. Their matches are normally really good. Hurkacz. Berrettini, Draper. That's where Draper bows out round of 16. Berrettini to beat him. That would be second week, no? I think, or the weekend, I think. RBA, Kyrgios. That's a tough one. Kyrgios has got a tough. After his first round, it's tough. I'm going to go Kyrgios, though. Felix, Taylor Fritz, Felix. Cilic, Nadal. Not an easy match. If Cilic serves well, it's a tough match for Nadal. The only thing that I guess you can say might be a positive for Nadal is that Cilic's serving is hot and cold at the moment. It was at Queens, a lot of double faults against Krajinovic. Obviously, he's going to hit big up both wings as well. You can't really target his backhand much. It's not a particular weakness. I'm going to go Nadal, but that's a tough round of 16 match. Djokovic, Murray, Djokovic. I didn't even need to think about it. Sorry, Murray. I love you, but sorry. TFO, Hurkacz. Berrettini, Kyrgios. Oh, man. Do I go so left field and pick Nick Kyrgios? Like a crazy man after he potentially could have been knocked out last round, well, 2 rounds ago from Tsitsipas, right? Am I now going to pick him in the quarterfinals to beat Berrettini and make a semi-final? Does he have the tank for it, though? Does he have the engine? Does he have it in him? He's played a lot of tennis recently. He has. Can he do it? Oh, it'd be tough. I mean, he faced someone similar-ish in Medvedev at Australia, or Medvedev, Australia, although, I mean, the first serve is very similar. The rest of the games are not as similar, of course. Berrettini with a hammer forehand, slice backhand a lot. Would Kyrgios... Well, I guess Berrettini's similar to Tsitsipas. He's probably just a better version on grass, right? On grass, that is, anyway. By that stage, is he going to be fully fit? Is he going to be gassing or not? That's the question. Or would he have already self-imploded against like an RBA who's pretty frustrating to play against on grass? Good player, really solid. I'm going to go Kyrgios. That's crazy. I can't believe I'm doing that. I'm going to go Kyrgios. I can't believe I've done that. Nadal versus Felix. Nadal. That's a tough one though as well. Like, to be fair though, once you make the quarterfinals, the matches are going to be tough. I have to say, like, I know a lot of people are saying like Nadal's got such a terrible run. Look, once you reach the quarterfinals, yeah, okay, Djokovic, I get it. Like, really, up until the quarters, he's got a pretty easy run. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Nadal fan. Like, it's just the truth. And it doesn't matter. If he wins it, he wins it. There's no easy way to win a Grand Slam. You can have an easy run, but you still have to win. You still have to beat everyone in front of you. You still have to win 7 matches, whatever it is. So, look, let's kind of just temper that down. But, look, it is what it is, right? I mean, Felix, I'd say for Nadal, he probably realistically would prefer to face a Murray or a TFO, or I think you probably prefer to face Felix over Berrettini and Kyrgios maybe, and a catch potentially. Don't know. Right, so that leaves us as semi-finals of Djokovic, Hurkacz, and Kyrgios Nadal. Do I see Hubert Hurkacz causing Djokovic problems? That's the question, right? Could this be the year that someone unexpected knocks out Djokovic? Oh, I don't know. It's tough to think about. Or are we just going to see a Djokovic Nadal final, which everyone wants to see? Let's be honest. Everyone wants to see that. Doesn't matter who you support. Oh, well, maybe if you're so hardcore, you don't want to see Nadal in the final. If you're a Djokovic fan, or if you're a Nadal fan, you don't see Djokovic in the final. I'm a Nadal fan. I'd like to see both of them in the final. And you know what? When it takes all, see what happens. Djokovic would be the favourite. Hurkacz is playing some really good tennis. You know, he's such a nice guy. I kind of want him to make his first Grand Slam final, but against Djokovic is like, that's the hardest player you could play against the semi-finals. I'm going to pick the second one first. Kyrgios Nadal, I'm going to go Nadal because Nadal's the only player in the top 10 who's got a favourable head-to-head against Kyrgios. So if he was to face him, it doesn't matter at what stage, I reckon he wins. Just because he's got a mental edge against him. If it was Djokovic against Kyrgios, I think he's got a worse chance. However, I do also think if Berrettini was to play Nadal, he's got a better chance than playing Djokovic. Now, obviously, I picked Kyrgios, right? So Kyrgios potentially loses to Berrettini or Berrettini wins against whoever, and it would be a Berrettini-Nadal semi-final. Now, that would be potentially harder, I think, for Nadal. But either way, I think he wins, personally. So Nadal versus Kyrgios. I think this is also assuming that Nadal's foot's fine, fully fit, whatever goes into, he'll be fine. Djokovic Hurkacz. Now, you know what? Every single tournament, I pick something outrageous, like something ridiculous. And I'm going to do it now. Yes, I'm going to do it now. Hubert Hurkacz to beat Novak Djokovic. You heard it. You heard it here first. I can't believe I'm picking this. You know why? Because it's just boring. Everyone's going to pick Djokovic. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to pick Djokovic. If I was to give my prediction as to who's got the best chance of winning, it would be Djokovic. It would be. Because, like, it's just a no-brainer, isn't it? It's a no-brainer. But he doesn't have the same air of invincibility as say a Nadal on Philip Chatrier, does he? He's close at Wimbledon. Not the same. Because he hasn't won it 14 times, right? Wimbledon, that is. And Hurkacz just looks like he looks like such a confident, happy player right now. I reckon if he manages to get to this stage, I reckon he could do it. That sounds crazy to say, but the reason why I say that as well is because last year, Djokovic didn't even have to. I'm telling you, he played his B level tennis. Like, he barely had to get out of. He didn't need to hit top gear. He didn't have to play A level tennis to win. No way. He was just so much better than everyone else. He was like, I don't need to. I'm coasting. He literally coasted the title. He coasted to the title. I think Hurkacz can do it. Djokovic fans don't hate me because honestly, like I've already said that. Look, I think he most likely will win it, but I just think, what is the point of just being bored? Everyone's gonna say it. Djokovic to win. Like everyone's gonna say it, which is fine. Like it probably will happen, but yeah. And in fact, the funniest thing is that I've actually picked Djokovic. I picked him at the French Open at Roland Garros. I completely ruled out Nadal. I think I had him going out against Felix in the quarterfinals, which he nearly did, to be fair. In Australia, I picked Alexander Zverev. God, what a terrible pick. This could be another terrible pick. I don't know. But Rafael Nadal to beat Hubert Hurkacz in the final, to be 3/4 of the way to the Canada Slam. That's my pick. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, to be fair, apart from yeah, that's just what I'm going for. If you don't like it, I don't know what to say. Sorry, I guess. I don't know. But let me know I want to know your guys' picks, actually, really, more than anything, because in all honesty, right, it's fine for me to kind of say, oh yeah, these guys are who Hurkacz can beat Djokovic, blah blah blah. But do you actually think that's a realistic thing to happen? And actually, before we finish up as well, so Nadal's my pick from my bracket. If it was guns ahead, it'd be Djokovic. I think everyone's got that. But I'm going to be honest with you now. The slice tennis, I do check that out if you haven't done so already. Stephen has actually put together a path to the final for Nadal, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Berrettini. I'm going to quickly go through that. So you can see here, Nadal's path to the final would be Djokovic, Alcaraz, Hurkacz. Cerundolo first round, Querrey, Berankis, Sonego, Cilic, Felix / Fritz, Berrettini / Tsitsipas, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Hurkacz. They haven't even included Kyrgios in there, like the crazy man I am, predicting him to go to semifinals. Then we've got someone like an Alcaraz. So if we look at Alcaraz's route, and that, I guess, shows how kind of crazy my bracket is. Yeah, anyways. Struff first round, Fognini second, Otter third round. Round 4 is Sinner / Murray, Djokovic quarters, Hurkacz semi-final, Berrettini or Nadal in the final. So that's I'm not joking. Every single one of those matches, he could lose. Every single one. No doubt, in my mind. It's hard, right? Because he hasn't played a lot on the grass, and it's just tough. These guys have just been simmering down, especially someone like an Otter, playing really good tennis on the grass. Djokovic, Kwon, Kokkinakis, Kecmanovic, then Basilashvili / Opelka round 4. I mean, look at that. I mean, up until quarterfinals, he should just absolutely blitz everyone. Quarterfinals, Alcaraz, Sinner he'd blitz. Alcaraz, I think he blitzes as well. I'm sorry for all the Alcaraz fans, but on grass, it's just a different proposition. Semi-finals, Hurkacz. I mean, I've gone for Hurkacz, but I don't know. That's probably a crazy pick. And then Nadal or Berrettini in the final, which, of course, Berrettini would be a repeat of last year's final. If he was to meet Nadal, I think they met 2011, I want to say. They've only played one Wimbledon final when Djokovic won, of course. They are 2-2, aren't they? At Wimbledon? I think they're 2-2. So 2 is the head-to-head. Interesting. Berrettini, Garin in the first round, Hustler second round, Brooksby / Bonzi third round. That's a tough one if that does happen. Round 4, Dimona, Draper. Should get through that. Quarterfinals, Tsitsipas, RBA. I've gone for Kyrgios, right? So, I mean, I think he actually blitzes everyone until the semi-finals, really. And then he'd either play Nadal, Cilic, Felix in the semis, final, Djokovic, Hurkacz, or Alcaraz. It's a pretty easy run. I think if he gets Kyrgios in the quarterfinals, even then he'd be happy to. He'd be thinking, I'm going to win that. So either way, I think he's a happy bunny, Berrettini. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Who have you picked for a winner? What do you think of the draw of your favorite players on the men's side? Of course, check out the women's version. We'll be uploading that very soon as well. If you do want to check my just initial reaction to the draw, there's a very short video on that, kind of summarizing things. I also did a really long Wimbledon 2022 preview with tennis with Cam Williams. So Cam Williams from Tennis with Cam Williams. Yeah, obviously massive channel, really great to have him on, and it was a really good chat. First half of it is us going through kind of like and trying to preview it properly. Second half is like all Q&A, so a lot of your guys' questions on the live, we were going through it. So some interesting insight from him, and hopefully from me as well, and from you guys, of course, as well. Remember to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and do subscribe if you're new. Remember, of course, as well, if you're a podcast listener or watcher, make sure you subscribe, follow us, all that good stuff. We'll see you, of course, for Wimbledon. We're going to be doing day-by-day roundups, live stream commentary, of course, as always, and hopefully get a few people on top of also doing some previews and post-match stuff for some of the big matches, as always. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you on the next video.